Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Mr. Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing absolutely wonderful here. We are with the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Car Division at the Lincoln Speedway. I know we just talked about it. Drivers going through the drivers meeting brought to you by Admin Box. A big thank you to Admin Box, proud sponsor of the drivers meeting at every Regal Promotions Esports event designed by iRacers for iRacers. Admin Box ensures seamless race control and efficient event management, keeping the focus on the action. Don't forget to use the code RPE-sports-box to save 10% on your next order. Visit Admin Box to learn more and to take your race day experience to the next level. Our practice session wrapping up. We're getting ready to roll into qualifying. We'll see which driver can set tonight's quick time. A couple drivers already heading out onto the racetrack. Ty Williams out here in the 116 machine. Unfortunately, my paint program not working properly tonight, so the paints are not going to look correct, as I believe that is there is an issue with their program for everybody, unfortunately. So if you see the paints of your driver and it doesn't look quite right, that would be the reason why. Ty Williams, lap number 1 for him is a 13.70. Richie Gaines a 13.69. There's a pretty tight at the top of the board. Ty's coming around to complete his second lap. See if he improves there. A little slower, actually, in 87. He's going to keep that 7.0 for now. Take a look at Gary Mansberger in the 86 machine. So he rolls into turns 3 and 4. And then the front straightaway to complete his second lap, a 13.89. He keeps the 76 ninth quick. Dylan McKee about ready to start his second lap, at a 14 flat, 16th on the board. Mason Hannigan, Jack Burke, Ethan Brown, Dane Culver, Landon Cardoza also on the racetrack. Second lap a little better for Dylan at a 13.85. Jack Burke in the 117. He runs a 13.71, ninth quick on the board. Cross the line to complete his second of 2 laps, a little slower, a 13.80. Mason Hannigan just went to the top of the board at a 13.51. Bowen Smith a 13.53, respectively. Jimbo Rooney, one of the last cars to head out onto the racetrack, in car number 27. Crossing the line that time at a 13.81, 19th quick for Jimbo. Lap 2 complete. He approves a 13.68, 11th quick. Well, Tim, looks like that's going to conclude our qualifying tonight. Mason Hannigan, a 13.47 is going to set the quick time. Can't forget, also tonight, $10 going to the winner of the feature tonight. So drivers racing for a little bit of money, as well as points into the championship total for the season. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our first heat race of the night. On the front row is going to be John Klimbowitz Jr. and Dustin Sargent. Row 2 is going to be Spencer Putney and Mason Hannigan. Row number 3 is Ty Williams and Gary Mansberger. Row 4, Stephen Metcalf and Charles New. Row 5 is going to have one driver. That'll be Nick Cordova. Can't forget there is a 4-car invert here in our heat races in the series. So our quick qualifier starts 4th in the first heat of the night. Tim, remind the folks how many drivers transfer. I believe most all of them will make the feature tonight. So
Yeah, we'll have 21 cars start the feature, regardless. But we're gonna take the top four, and there's gonna be an invert for.
Top 4 and an invert of 4. All right. Tonight's first heat rate, first heat race, excuse me. Want to give a special thank you to Right Rear Racing. They're the proud sponsor of heat race number 1. Be sure to tune in and catch all the excitement live streamed on their YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube for more action. All right, 9 drivers, 8 laps in Right Rear Racing heat race number 1. As they work 2 by 2 down the back straightaway, we're going to get the green flag this time. You see the pace truck has peeled off down into the work area. Green flag is in the air. Spencer Putney steps on the gas. We are heat racing at the Lincoln Speedway. Dustin Sargent's going to wrap the outside and challenge down the back straightaway. And they work into turn 3 side by side. They're side by side for the 3rd position as well. Sargent with a good run on the outside leads the first lap. Putney's still going to be committed down to the bottom side of the racetrack. You see slots into position 2. Mason Hannigan, Ty Williams, they were side by side. Hannigan trying to use the bottom to his advantage and make his way past the 017 machine of Putney. As he looks to the outside, they were 3 wide for a second there, Tim.
Yeah, this is just watching them go down into 3. It looks awkward. We got maybe a wreck. I thought there was a wreck near the back. I thought I seen someone go head first into the inside wall, but I stand corrected. As we're gonna have a pass for the lead.
Yeah, Sargent and Hannigan, they've been trading it back and forth. Hannigan back to the front now, but Sargent had good momentum on the outside, but not able to do anything with it there. Putney still working the inside. Ty Williams back there in that 4th and final transfer spot. Hannigan just brushes the outside wall with that right rear tire. 2 to go. Sargent trying to hold on to the 2nd spot. Ty Williams trying to take a peek underneath Spencer Putney. And Charles New in the 221 machine right there as well. There's contact. Ty Williams and New. Don't know how they saved that, Tim.
I don't know. We're at such close quarters. And, oh, we got one around. That's Charles New. He's dove it off into turn 3, and it looked like he just caught onto the wall on the inside. That was the checkers.
Yeah, Mason Hannigan comes away with Right Rear Racing heat race number 1 victory there. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for our 2nd heat tonight. Jimbo Rooney, Richie Gaines on row 1. Landon Cardoza, Bowen Smith, row 2. Jack Burke, Parker Leak, row number 3. Matt Hinkle, Dylan McKee, row 4. And Ty Dickinson back there in row 5. Do want to give a shout out while we're waiting for heat race number 2 to kick off to the Dirt Slingers Racing League. They're an official league sponsor here of Regal Promotions Esports, a staple in the iRacing dirt community. DSRL has built a reputation for delivering top-tier competition and exciting on-track action for drivers of all skill levels. Be sure to follow Dirt Slingers Racing League on Facebook or on their website to stay up to date on their latest events. A big thank you to DSRL for supporting RPES and helping us bring the best in virtual dirt racing to fans around the world. as the field begins to roll. Bowen Smith not going to make the call here in Heat 2, so 8 cars will start. Also, giving a shout out to Dirt Series Promotions, our pit road sponsor here in the series. With years of experience in the sim racing industry, Dirt Series Promotions has built a solid reputation as a leader in high quality racing, offering a range of competitive divisions like the ever popular Dirt Late models. Be sure to check them out for some of the best racing action on the sim. Facebook, you can search up Dirt Series Promotions, and on their website at www.dirt-series.com. All right, Tim, how about you get us started here in our second heat?
Alrighty, we're going to have Cardoza lead the Heat 2 field through 3 and 4 as he's going to get ready to step on the loud pedal, and he does. He's going to get a great launch over the rest of the Heat 2 field as Jack Burke also right there with him. He takes over the second place position. He's all the way down on the inside. He's trying to get some momentum built up and hopefully make the pass for the lead as he now chooses to run the outside. It's going to be Richie Gaines third and Matt Henkel in 4.
Oh, we got 2 tangled up back there. I believe that was Parker Leak, Jimbo Rooney, Ty Dickinson all got together. 1 car on the side. Ty Dickinson was on his side for a moment. Him and Jimbo Rooney have got back going, but well off the pace. Cardoza flashes by the front start-finish line there and into turn 1. He's not too far behind Dickinson and Rooney. It's Cardoza, Burke, Gaines remain the top 3, but Gaines got loose and spun.
Oh my goodness.
I think the leaders caught the slower traffic, and there was a big moment there as I was running through the top 3. Yeah, we're going to take a look at this. This is the original incident with the 1 and it looks like the 27 and 67 on the front straightaway. They got tangled up there. The 1 was able to fire back pretty quick. Ty Dickinson ramps over the rear tire of Jimbo Rooney, and then they were slow to get back going. I think Jimbo Rooney had some suspension issues. Ty Dickinson got back going. Yeah, Jimbo lost the steering, got into the outside wall, came to a stop in front of Richie Gaines, and Gaines had nowhere to go. The 47 of Hinkle, heavy contact, and that's what brought out the yellow flag here.
I didn't even notice that. I thought the caution came out for Dickinson. He was flipped in by himself in turn 4. Or was it Dickinson? Yeah.
It might have been originally for that, but that, I think, Tim, happened at the same time over there at the entry to 3.
Yeah, I didn't even know the incident that you were talking about happened.
Okay. Well, Tyler Dickinson says, I was just trying to hold on. I'm a mess. Control plus R, he says. All right, well, trust me, we've all been there once or twice. We know how it is. We know how it feels. As the green flag goes back in the air, brought to you by Third Party Gaming. Cardoza, Burke, McKee, and Leak is the top 4. And they're side by side for 5th. Gaines and Hinkle. Gaines on the inside takes the 5th spot. Puts Hinkle back to 6 as we might have a battle brewing for the lead at 3 to go here, Tim.
Yeah, we're also having a battle for the transfer spot as well.
Absolutely. Oh, Leak gets up into the outside wall. That allows Richie Gaines and Matt Hinkle to close in, as well as McKee. As Leak went to the inside, Richie Gaines with a big-time slide job across the nose of Dylan McKee. McKee might try to repay the favor. No, he's going to keep the car planted on the inside. Gaines with the momentum down the back straightaway. White flag already displays as Jack Burke works out a turn 4 to win Heat 2. Landon Cardoza, Parker Leak, Richie Gaines will be the top 4 there. Dylan McKee, Matt Hinkle, Jimbo Rooney, Ty Dickinson, and Bowen Smith. 5th through 9th place finishers there in Heat 2. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our 3rd heat of the night. Front row of Heat 3 is going to be Nick Larry and Michael Skirring. Row 2 is going to be Dane Culver and Alex Szerzynski. Row number 3 will be Brian Kling and Jeremy Christensen. Row 4 is going to be Joseph Groom and Ethan Brown. Want to give a shout out to Elevated TV for sponsoring Heat 3 tonight. As we approach the final laps of tonight's race, the white flag and Heat Race number 3 are proudly presented by Elevated TV. Whether you're looking for in-depth driver interviews or full event coverage, Elevated TV elevates your viewing experience. Be sure to tune in for exclusive race content and take your race night to the next level. Find them on Facebook and YouTube for all the action. Also tonight, want to shout out Thunder Valley Racing League. Regal Promotions Esports is thrilled to welcome Thunder Valley Racing League as an official league sponsor. Known for hosting exciting iRacing at NASCAR events, Thunder Valley Racing delivers high-intensity competition and well-organized races for virtual NASCAR fans. Stay connected with Thunder Valley Racing on Facebook, Discord, YouTube, and TikTok for the latest updates and race action. Nick Larry, Michael Skirring, row number 1. Larry on the inside, Skirring on the outside. Larry hits the loud pedal. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway in Heat 3. Dane Culver is going to use the inside and maybe try to slide up the hill in front of Szerzynski. Wasn't able to do so. Jeremy Christensen with an issue into turn 1. We remain under the green flag for now. Dane Culver is going to hold on to the 4th spot, but Larry looks to the inside of Skirring into 1, Tim.
Yeah, Nick Larry had a problem. I think Skirring just had the same problem Nick Larry had on lap 1 as Szerzynski is keeping the pressure up on that leader of Skirring. As I think we got one riding the wall near the back.
Yeah, Ethan Brown as well with an issue. Joseph Groom well off the pace in the 11 machine, but our top 4 throw him underneath of a blanket here as Skirring gets a little tap from behind from Szerzynski on exit. 4 down, 4 to go. The 190 machine of Dane Culver up on the outside, trying to make something happen up there as Szerzynski slides across the nose of Skirring to the lead for a moment. Out of force, Szerzynski's going to lead the lap, but Skirring with a good run down low. He slides up in front of Szerzynski. Szerzynski with the crossover as they continue to swap the lead.
Oh,
Heavy contact.
You were going to be in the invert.
Heavy contact there, and the yellow flag does get displayed. Skirring and Szerzynski, that did not work out getting into 3. Keep an eye on the battle up front. Szerzynski with a good pass as they work down the back straightaway by that video screen, and Skirring just entered, tried to get lower than Szerzynski, but Szerzynski kind of blocked. Those cars make contact. Skirring pushes way up the hill after the contact. Szerzynski gets real loose, kind of tangles together with the 07. The 07 vanishes off of my screen, and Szerzynski pretty hard impact into that Armco barrier there. I believe he got stuck up there and had to tow into the pit area, so only going to be a couple lap shootout here to finish out heat number 3. Szerzynski, Skirring, Christensen, Brown in the pit area. Nick Larry, Dane Culver, Brian Kling, and Joseph Groom is the top 4 currently. Light still on the pace truck. We'll take a moment and talk about another league sponsor, TJ Visuals. Regal Promotions Esports is excited to welcome TJ Visuals as an official league sponsor. Known for creating eye-catching social media graphics, TJ Visuals currently works with numerous real-life drivers across the country and most recently RPES, helping elevate their online presence, whether it's race promotions, result graphics, or more. TJ Visuals brings a professional touch your race team or league needs. Be sure to follow TJ Visuals on Facebook and Instagram to view their latest designs and updates. Thank you to TJ Visuals for supporting Regal Promotions Esports and enhancing the virtual racing experience. Nick Larry gets back after it. 2 laps to go in Heat 3. Culver's going to run the inside. Pretty tame for the restart. Kling, a couple more car links back there in the 3rd spot. Joseph Groom scurrying side by side, but scurrying currently being scored a lap down. White flag for Larry up front. Half a second advantage over Culver. Out of turn number 4, Nick Larry is going to win Heat 3. Dane Culver will be second. Brian Kling will finish third. Joseph Groom in the 4th spot. Alex Szerzynski will be credited with 5th. Michael Skirring 6th. Jeremy Christensen 7th. And Ethan Brown position 8 there in Heat 3. All right, this is going to be our B main here tonight. Take a look at the starting lineup. Gary Mansberger, Dylan McKee, row 1. Alex Szerzynski, Nick Cordova, row 2. Matt Hinkle, Michael Skirring, row 3. Charles New, Jimbo Rooney, row 4. Ethan Brown, John Klimowitz, row 5. Ty Dickinson, Jeremy Christensen, row 6. Row 7 is going to be Stephen Metcalf and Bowen Smith. All right, Tim, what's that magic number we're looking for here?
That magic number is showing 10.
All right. Looks like all the drivers will start, so 4 drivers will be going home. They will not make the feature, so got to be in the top 10 here. 618 Engraving and Design, B main tonight. Every caution flag, fastest lap, and B main tonight is proudly presented by 618 Engraving and Design. Whether you need custom hats, koozies, or cutting boards, 618 Engraving and Design delivers precision craftsmanship for any event. Visit them online to explore their incredible products. Michael Skirring not going to make the call, so 13 drivers will start RB main. Tyler Dickinson says, and I'll be 11. Now don't count yourself out, Tyler. You're in 11th now, but you got to go forward. You're only 1 spot away. You can do it. Tim and I's got faith in you. Right, Tim?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm kidding. He's got it. He's got it in the bag. He'll make it. Hopefully. Don't make me look like an idiot.
All right. Tim's putting down some heaters there. Anyways, I think we're about to kick off this B main. Absolutely. Mansberger, McKee on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Good jump there from Szerzynski on the inside as he's looking to take the lead out of turn 2. Alex Szerzynski to the top spot. Mansberger in second. McKee third. Then Matt Hinkle down on the inside in 4th. They're side by side behind that. That's Charles New, Nick Cordova, Jimbo Rooney 7th, Klimowitz 8th, Christensen 9th, and Ethan Brown still holds on to the
wall. Rooney made contact with him.
Yellow flag displayed. Michael Skirring did rejoin the field, but a couple laps down.
Dylan McKee's, the whole rear end is... You know, I think if the rear end was pointed the opposite way, it might actually help him out.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, McKee just entered really high into 1. We're checking out the replay here and just kind of got caught up into the wall and rode the wall for a little while. Here comes Jimbo Rooney. He makes contact with him, pushes him back into that outside wall and into that Armco barrier as the car goes sideways. We go a little bit forward and a yellow flag was out there, but pretty heavy contact for the 12 machine of Dylan McKee. Also tonight, Quero Studios. Want to give a big thank you to them. the mastermind behind our exciting pill draw bot in Discord, adding a unique level of excitement to many of our special events. Quero Studios also specializes in creating custom websites for your brand. Whether you need a website upgrade or want to spice up your event, Quero Studios has you covered. Join their Discord or visit QueroStudios.com today. Alex Rosinski gets back on the gas, green flag back in the air. He leads Gary Mansberger and Matt Hinkle now through 1 and 2 as Hinkle makes a move to the inside of Mansberger. He moves into the second spot. Mansberger under fire from Charles New. And he actually made a 2-for-1 pass through 3 and 4 there. Charles New from 4th to 2nd. Matt Hinkle back to 3rd. Mansberger in 4th. Nick Cordova in 5th. 6th and 7th is held onto by Klimowitz and Rooney. Christensen's 8th. Bowen Smith is 9th. And Stephen Metcalf holds on to the top 10 spot. Is there 3 wide for the transfer, and they're getting tangled up. One car in the outside wall. That's Metcalf. Pretty heavy contact. We're still under green for now. We'll go back and check up front with Szerzynski. And there is the yellow flag as we get the 5 to go marker. Just got tangled up. They were 3 wide back there. Metcalf, Bowen Smith, and Jeremy Christensen were 3 wide out of turn 4. We're going to slow things down. Christensen went up to the outside. Bowen Smith tried to go to the middle, and he became the meat of the sandwich. And the 707 and the 012 just got tangled up. The 707 goes straight up the hill into the outside concrete barrier of turn 1, and that machine just barely got by the 707 without any major issues. Steve Metcalf going for quite a wild ride there. Finishes on his side between turns 1 and 2. All the green flags tonight. Third Party Gaming is the official green flag sponsor of Regal Promotions Esports. With over 2 years of experience in the iRacing industry, Third Party Gaming has established itself as the trusted provider of high-quality racing and competitive divisions. But that's not all. They also host thrilling tournaments for games like Rocket League and more. Be sure to follow Third Party Gaming across your favorite social media platforms to stay updated on the latest events, offers, and more. All right, Tim, get us going for the restart.
Alrighty. Szerzynski fires. He gets a good, fantastic launch over the rest of the field. As it's going to be Charles New second, Matt Hinkle third. They're going to look to chase down the leader. As we got contact in the back for fifth, Rooney involved again.
And a host of drivers make their way by, and the yellow flag is displayed for the 3rd time here in the B main. Right now, holding on to that 10th spot is going to be, I believe, Nick Cordova in the 18, but he was involved in that accident, so. Yeah, like you said, a host of drivers kind of involved in that back here. Oh, the 12 and 67 machines got together. That was McKee and Dickinson. Spun down the back straightaway there. So a couple of incidences there leading up to this latest yellow flag. Bowen Smith on the hot seat in the 0-1-2. Lights are out on the pace truck, though. That means we're going to go green flag next time around. Szerzynski just wants to make it through this and get to the feature and start working his way forward. He's had a quick car tonight as he gets the restart and gets us back going. Just a couple to go in the B main. Oh, and he's getting shoved by New. Charles New now takes the top spot. Matt Hinkle moves into the second position. Szerzynski's going to try to run the rail as they're going to come to the white flag one more time around. We're going to have a battle for the top spot. Szerzynski's going to keep it up high, and he's going to go around both of them into the top spot, a 2-for-1. Szerzynski's going to try to block, but New makes contact with him, and there's chaos towards the back. Matt Hinkle wins the B main. We're going to have to look at the final results here from this B main to determine who finished in the 10th position, and I believe Ty Dickinson did finish 10th with the chaos there. Let's take a look at the B main results. Matt Hinkle won, then John Klimowitz finishes second, Michael Skirring third. From the issues when he started later than everybody else, still managed to come home third. Bowen Smith fourth, Nick Cordova fifth, Dylan McKee sixth, Stephen Metcalf seventh, Ethan Brown eighth, Gary Mansberger ninth, and Ty Dickinson 10th. With what happened there on the final lap, Jimbo Rooney, Alex Szerzynski, Jeremy Christensen, and Charles New will be the non-transferred cars. Wow. All right, we have the warm-up going, folks, presented by Night Owl Racing League. You can get ready to roll with the Night Owl Racing League, our warm-up session sponsor for 2025, bringing together passionate sim racers for thrilling competition. The Night Owl Racing League hosts unforgivable races. Join the Night Owl Racing League today by visiting them on Facebook or joining their Discord to be part of the action. All right, this will be a good time to fix my timing and scoring as it has decided to mess up on me, and we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, everybody, welcome back into the Buckeye Racing Network. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our feature here tonight. On the front row is going to be Mason Hannigan and Jack Burke. Row 2 will be Nick Larry and Dustin Sargent. Row number 3 is going to be Landon Cardoza and Dane Culver. Row 4 will be Spencer Putney and Parker Leak. Row number 5 will be Brian Kling and Ty Williams. Row 6, Richie Gaines and Joseph Groom. Row number 7 here tonight is going to be Matt Hinkle and John Klimowitz. Row 8, Michael Scurring, Bowen Smith. Row 9, Nick Cordova and Dylan McKee. Row number 10 is going to be Stephen Metcalf and Ethan Brown. Row 11 is going to be Gary Mansberger and Ty Dickinson. Pace truck begins to roll. As the field works through 1 and 2, want to give a shout out to Sick Trophies. A massive thank you to Sick Trophies, the official trophy supplier of Regal Promotions Esports and presenting sponsor of the 2025 Regal Promotions Esports Awards Show. Sick Trophies will provide the prestigious awards honoring the outstanding drivers and teams throughout the year. All right, Tim, it's that time of the night. Our drivers to watch. Who do you think is going to end up in victory lane?
Oh boy, you can pick anyone out of this field to win, but I am going to pick that 017 machine of Spencer Putney.
Absolutely, I like that pick. I'm going to go with a couple rows ahead, Landon Cardoza in the 121 as we get the green flag to kick off the feature action from the Lincoln Speedway. Mason Hannigan leads us through 1 and 2, and they're side by side for at least a second anyways for second. Jack Burke into the second spot. Nick Larry trying to hold on to third, battling side by side for fourth. As the yellow flag gets displayed for the first time, we'll go back and take a look at it. Happened towards the back of the field. Keep an eye on Ethan Brown here. And Dylan McKee.
Man, that's...
Metcalf in the 707 got underneath of Ethan Brown as he goes into the outside wall. There's the 707 and the 12 machines. They get tangled up from that and both go spinning hard into the outside wall there.
It's been a rough night for Dylan McKee.
Absolutely. He ends up on his lid. The top wing is now off of his race car. As you see it sitting at the top of the racetrack there. So a couple of these drivers not had the best of nights, that's for sure. Just a couple laps in to this one. Follow RPES. You can stay connected with Regal Promotions Esports to never miss an update on upcoming events and broadcasts. The website is www.regalpromotions.com. And Facebook, you can search Regal Promotions Esports. All right, Mason Hannigan stands on the gas. We are back underway. Jack Burke, Nick Larry, and Dustin Sargent trying to make a move through the middle. He's going to stay in fourth for now. Then Landon Cardoza, he takes a peek to the inside through 3 and 4. Nothing doing there. As they still remain side by side, Sargent and Cardoza. And Hannigan trying to pull out an advantage as he works out of down the front straightaway. As my timing and scoring is a little messed up after the yellow flag, but these are the top 5 or so positions. Hannigan, Burke, Larry, Sargent, Cardoza.
They're about 3 wide. They're about to be 3 wide for third. They're trying to split Nick Larry as Cardoza works his way to the inside, tries to complete the pass. He does not. Nick Leary shoots out the cannon on the high side, is that inside line, it looks dominant in
Uh-oh.
R2. We got
I think we have a big issue on the front straightaway again, Tim.
Yep. Yes, we do.
Nick Cordova, Ethan Brown involved. Go back and take a look. You see they were too wide there. Cordova is the 18 machine. Ty Williams, I think, in the 116 makes contact with Cordova. He goes up into the outside wall. Oh, and Cordova tried to get off of the wall. The car turned all the way down to the inside, and there's Ethan Brown and Ty Dickinson right there involved. So 3-4 cars involved in this one, and you see the leaders was coming out of turn 4 there, so right in front of him. Caution flag had to be waved that time. Ethan Brown, Ty Dickinson, Nick Cordova in the pit lane. Regal Promotions Esports merchandise has arrived. Gear it for the 2025 season in style. They got stylish tees, cozy hoodies, must-have posters. Don't wait, grab yours today. Shop now at www.regalpromotions.com/shop. As the field doubles back up, Hannigan, Burke. Row 1, Hannigan gets us back going for the restart with a great jump here as he crosses the line. Jack Burke getting pressured behind from the 121 of Cordova. He's right there on the tail tank. Larry had some pressure behind from the 77 of Sargent, but they're 3 wide for second, and we got, I think that's Richie Gaines.
Yeah, it is. Backed it up into the wall. Great heads up driving from everyone else, avoiding it.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on the 111 machine here in the replay. As we get into turn 3, we'll slow things down. See, the 111 just enters a lot faster than the 017 of Putney. Gets into the tail tank. Car goes sideways and backs all the way up into the outside wall. Like you said, Tim, great job from the other drivers being able to avoid the 111 machine. Not cause any other issues. As Richie's going to rejoin the tail of the field there. Nick Cordova in the 18 machine has called it a night. So hasn't Stephen Metcalf in the 707. 2 drivers scored out. 20 cars still remain on the racetrack. All right, pace truck is off. Single file restart, excuse me. Green flag back in the air. Hannigan, Burke, Cardoza, the top 3. Cardoza's trying to get a run built on the inside there through 1 and 2, and as I say, that yellow flag waves once more. Here, and I'm going to try to see exactly what happened for the cause of this yellow flag. Dustin Sargent got caught up in the outside wall. He kind of goes into that runoff area outside of turn 2, losing the top wing. There, does anybody else make contact with him? I'm going to keep it on the 77 for a moment. Lee Bowen Smith had an issue as well. But looks like for the most part, everybody was able to work by the 77 of Sargent. Well, Tim, one thing's for sure, a little bit caution-filled to start feature action tonight here at the Lincoln Speedway.
Yeah. I think there was also another incident going through. Yeah, there was another incident going through 1 and 2. I don't know if you've seen that, but there was.
I thought it was just related to Sargent, but like I said, it very well could have been a secondary accident.
Yeah, there was one that involved 3 other cars. I was just made aware of it.
We're back underway, though. Hannigan, Burke, Cardoza out front, side by side for fourth. Parker Leak, Nick Larry. Leak with the run on the outside takes over the fourth spot. Nick Larry back to fifth. Then you have Putney and Culver side by side as Leak gets into the outside wall, and he's trapped up there for a moment. Turns back down, gets going right in front of Joseph Groom. Good heads-up driving from Groom to keep his car off of him. We're going to remain under the green flag for now.
Putney to the inside of Dane Culver for that 5th place position. He's trying to complete the pass here as he almost did it. I thought the 50 of Dane Culver got way wide off the exit and allowed Putney to get by, but we're under yellow again, as I believe that's going to be Ty Dickinson.
I believe you are right. We're going to take a look at the replay. Ty Dickinson was trying to work the middle, and Dylan McKee was right behind him. There was a little contact. Dickinson goes for a spin. Does McKee get by on the inside? Looks like he did, but Dickinson definitely spun. And then I saw an issue with Joseph Groom. We'll keep an eye on that as he's in the 11. He kind of got sideways through 3 and 4. There as Dickinson went around. Yeah, Joseph Groom, and I think that's Ty Williams. There in the 116, got caught up. Groom backed it into the fence. Here comes Ethan Brown. He makes contact with Groom. Yeah, heavy contact. Joseph Groom went for a wild ride at the top of turn 1 and 2. And luckily enough landed on all 4 wheels, surprisingly. But that would have caused the yellow flag to be displayed for sure. Green flag back in the air for the restart. Hannigan with a solid jump on the field. Cardoza, Burke side by side. Cardoza now improves to the 2nd position. Burke back to 3rd. Then Dane Culver in 4th. Nick Larry, Spencer Putney, and Matt Hinkle trying to make it 3 wide for the 5th position. Got to be careful entering the corner. Putney improves to 5th. Nick Larry back to 6th. Here comes Parker Leak in the 1 machine trying to move his way back forward.
I'm watching these drivers go through 3 and 4. Oh, we got another yellow, but we got one side on its side on the front stretch here. So you got one turned around.
Yeah, I think it happened in the area of Dustin Sargent, and I think him and Gary Mansberger got together out of 4. They both make contact with the inside wall. Ty Dickinson was there, had nowhere else to go. He's involved. There's the 12 machine again of Dylan McKee gets involved. I think Joseph Groom was flipping down the front straightaway, so 5-6 cars involved in this latest one. You see, there's Joseph Groom still flipping down the front straightaway. So another wild ride for him. Well, unfortunately, the Lincoln Speedway has not treated these drivers nice here tonight in the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Division. Unfortunately, caution filled to start our feature, working our 6th caution just after 14 laps complete.
Well, I'm sure top split of some of these races here tonight, as it's Monday Night Flex, are just as caution filled. So we are getting our money's worth with that yellow flag.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking from experience about, like you said, Monday Night Flex, I mean, we've all experienced it. If you've raced in the iRacing sim, sometimes that happens, especially on those points nights like that. Hannigan gets back on it. We're back to green. Just past the halfway point here tonight. 15 down, now 15 to go. And the yellow flag displayed once again. We had another issue back towards the tail.
Like Matt Henkel was involved. I can't tell if he had help. Yeah, he definitely had help.
Yeah, Hinkle just tried to enter low. The 34 machine of Klimowitz made a contact with him, got him spun around. Ty Dickinson collected. Ty Williams collected. The 2 machine of Brian Kling involved. Mansberger trying to find his way around. So another half dozen or so cars involved in caution number 7. See a ton of cars scored out now. Nick Cordova, Stephen Metcalf, Bowen Smith, Richie Gaines, Ethan Brown, Dylan McKee, Dustin Sargent, Joseph Groom are all scored out. About, it looks like 14 cars still rolling around the racetrack. Michael Scurring scored 14th, a couple laps down.
Bentley, do you want to go on the right front suspension camera of Mason Hannigan for the restart?
Yeah, absolutely we can do that for this restart. Special camera footage here from Hannigan as we get the green flag. You see him get the jump. Flagman waving the green. You get to see just how much wheel inputs these drivers do have. You see the wheel twitching back and forth as Hannigan wheels around the Lincoln Speedway. Just how close they are to that outside wall on the exit of 4. He's going to dip it way down to the inside, let the car slide up the hill into the grip. Power off a turn 2 for the run down the back straightaway. Just going to run the top here through 3 and 4, right up against that outside wall. What an awesome camera shot there, Tim.
It is. I was kind of hoping to see one with a better view of the right rear, just to show the people at home how close these guys are getting to the wall. It's, if you guys watch the Cup race, it's like Larson at Homestead. You can't get any closer without touching, and they the leaders almost make contact with each other. That's Cardoza and Hannigan.
Yeah, absolutely. Mason Hannigan, Cardoza got really close. Putney now within striking distance of Cardoza. And there's a couple cars getting outside wall. Jack Burke finds himself back in the 4th spot. Dane Culver 5th with Parker Leak in the 1 machine. Right on his tail tank. Then a big gap back to Nick Larry now in 7th. Ty Williams, Matt Hinkle, Gary Mansberger rounds out the top 10. But Hannigan about 0.6 of a second advantage over Cardoza. So he continues to lead the way. Cardoza got all the way up to him and tried to move and lost that momentum and fell back as the yellow flag displayed for the 8th time. We'll have to go back, take a peek, but I believe it happened around the 47 of Matt Hinkle. And as the field had kind of spread out a bit, but Matt Hinkle, Gary Mansberger was side by side. And those two made contact, the left front of Hinkle into the right rear of Mansberger. Hinkle gets loose, comes down the hill. Does he collect the 34 machine? No, the 34 works past. That was Klimowitz. I almost want to say there was more than that, as maybe Parker Leak with an issue after the yellow flag, or no? No, I think Parker Leak just jumped out of the throttle, or maybe he got into the outside wall just a bit. Oh, Parker Leak actually goes for a wild ride up in 3 and 4 as he got into the outside wall and kind of done a spin in the air and landed back on all fours. So that happened around the same time as the spin up front. Michael Dickinson says, hope the flagman has extra yellow flags. That one's going to wear out. I believe he's on. We are getting word down there from the flagman, I believe, Tim. He's on his 3rd yellow flag here tonight. He's wore out the other 2.
How did he wear out the other one?
The other ones, well, the B main was caution fill. I mean, they're just getting ragged. He's having to wave them. You know, Barney, our flagman, he don't mess around when he waves that flag. I mean, he waves it.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does. He's aggressive with it.
he very much so is.
I'm convinced he's got a bionicle arm.
I think he does. Green flag back in the air for Hannigan. 7 more circuits around the Lincoln Speedway. Do we see the last 7 green flag? Put your bets in now, folks. Cardoza with a good run on Hannigan. He's closed right up to the tail tank. And if you bet that the yellow flag would be displayed once again, it has. Let's go take a peek at what happened here. Maybe Matt Hinkle with another issue in the 47 machine. Oh, Parker Leak and John Klimowitz get together out of turn 2. Matt Hinkle runs into Klimowitz into 34. Hinkle spins down to the inside part of the racetrack right there at the entry to turn 3. Klimowitz up into the outside wall in front of it. That was enough for the yellow flag to be displayed. Cardoza, I think, Tim, might be a touch better than Hannigan as he has been able to close the gap, but we haven't been able to string enough green flag laps together, unfortunately. But once we get the green flag here, it will be 6 laps to go for Hannigan in the 71. All right, Tim, how about you get us going for this restart?
Alrighty, we're going to have the leader, Mason Hannigan. He fires away. Cardoza has him on the target. He's going to have to close in. He knows he's using the wall video game move. He's trying to make up as much ground as he can right now. Wasted no time as he ran about a tenth slower as he's really closing in the gap, it looks like, through 3 and 4 maybe. I feel like he just had a little bit of that wall glue out of on the front stretch, and he just lost most of that time that he gained. And Hannigan is just
trying to pull away here. Now 9th of a second ahead of Cardoza.
It's like I said, it's like Larson at Homestead, just wearing out the right rear.
2 to go for Hannigan. Cardoza's falling into the clutches of Spencer Putney into 0-1-7 as Cardoza down to the inside, Putney up around the outside. Putney's going to run the middle. Cardoza all the way up on the fence. White flag in the air just one more time around for Mason Hannigan. Hannigan just trying to get back to the checkered flag. So he's going to use the outside line through 3 and 4 and out of 4. Mason Hannigan, the $10 to win here tonight. And I think he's going to go back to back to back here at winning at the Lincoln Speedway. Landon Cardoza does hold on for the second spot. Spencer Putney brings his machine home in third. And I'm going to give a shout out to Gary Mansberger in the 86 machine. Plus 14 spots for him. 21st to a 7th place run here tonight. Ty Dickinson plus 12 for him. 22nd to 10th tonight. As our top 3 stop on the front straightaway. Wow, what a night, Tim. Unfortunately, a little bit caution filled, but Mason Hannigan, now a three-peat winner here in the series. All right, let's get our interview portion started here tonight. As I believe we're going to get things started off with our third place finisher, if he is available, Spencer Putney in the 017. I do see the other 2 drivers ready and waiting. Hopefully Spencer's able to get an interview in here with us tonight. We're actually going to move up and talk to our second place finisher since he is available, Landon Cardoza in the 121 machine. Hey, Landon, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, what a night for you guys up front. Yeah, it seemed like you, Landon, was able to catch Hannigan at certain times, but it seemed like trying to search around and find momentum or losing a little bit, Hannigan was able to pull out enough and just kind of run smooth as he could. And you were searching around up high, down low. And definitely gave Hannigan a run for his money at times. But as the track slicked off, was that just the tricky part about trying to make the moves around here?
Yeah, I don't know. Car felt. I guess you can say kind of like I said last week. I don't think track prep was done right. Once again, I think it resulted in a single file racetrack. Like you said, I was trying my hardest to find bottom wherever I was going, and everything was just equal. And I mean, I threw that crazy slider one lap, and I almost killed him, if I'm being real. But that was my only move I feel like I had. If I was able to get a run on him out of 2 or 4, and just throw it in there and get past, and cautions didn't help. But no, not a horrible night.
No, not a horrible night. Come away with a top 2 finish here after a caution-filled evening for the rest of the field. Tim, do you have anything?
Yeah, Landon, how much prep did you put in to this race, and were you expecting the track to play out any different, or did you have a feeling that the track was going to end up this way?
I'm not gonna lie. This week was lots of. I've been around a lot, focusing more on officials last couple weeks, and so not a lot of prep. I'm actually running a setup from for Fairbury, so not a lot of like. I wouldn't say not a lot of trying, but just not enough time to focus on everything that I have on my schedule. But no, I felt like obviously Lincoln's Lincoln. I feel like the track kind of always wears in the same, and when it gets this slick, it just gets like this. I mean, I've there's always been great races here, but at the same time, I just feel like when you do track work like they did with a pre-gen, it results in the slick just being black, and just makes it single file and not as fun as a driver. But like I said earlier, not a bad night, just points racing like usual.
Yeah, for sure, Landon. Before we let you go tonight, who do you need to thank?
Just everyone that helps me: Matt, Fusion Setup Shop, Colin Bocus, Dustin, Kyle, just everyone that allows me to do this every week.
All right, Landon. We'll certainly appreciate you talking to us tonight. We'll let you celebrate the top 3.
Of course, thank you.
All right, I do now see Mr. Spencer available for his interview. We'll move back to our third place position now and talk to him. Hey, Spencer, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
All right, +4 on the night, 7th to 3rd. What a tricky racetrack the Lincoln Speedway was. It slicked off and was slick for most of the run, and looked like passing was a premium, and keeping your car off of another car was also a premium tonight. Um, Tell us what maybe worked for you or didn't work for you as you worked your way through the feature.
Yeah, before I wasn't really sure how the track was going to go there, so I kind of tried to set up for slick, hoping it would get there, and eventually it did. But yeah, it was just I felt like just keeping the momentum. Obviously, that was a little bit difficult. It took a few laps to try to get that rolling, but once I was able to get the right line, I was able to kind of get by a few guys and not get pinned on the inside in the slick.
Yeah, absolutely. Just able to work your way through and get a solid top three here tonight. Tim, you have anything?
Yeah, what were some of the uh, difficulties of setting up the pass and then ultimately completing the pass? What did you find fun or frustrating in doing so?
Yeah, I think for me it was you just had to keep up with everybody in 3 and 4 to set up a pass for 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is always a more difficult corner at Lincoln to pull off a slider, just the way that the outside wall curves, and so it's a little bit easier down in 1 and 2. But you got to set it up the turn before.
Yeah, absolutely, Spencer. You worked your way into the top three. Before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, just uh, EPI and all the setup help they give, and it keeps me rolling forward.
Yeah, for sure. We certainly appreciate you talking to us tonight. We'll let you celebrate the top three.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I believe we're going to talk to our winner now. Hey, Mason, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
How you doing, sir?
Doing fabulous. Well, coming away with another win here in the series and take home $10 tonight. That's got to feel good. I know you had to navigate your way through plenty of restarts with the cautions tonight. The track conditions slicked off. Was really slick, kind of like last week. What were you able to do tonight that worked for you the best to keep yourself out front?
Just kind of going off old notes at this place. Kind of staying a little bit freer, but kind of being a little bit tight at the beginning there. But honestly, like I wasn't that tight in the beginning. Just kind of had the wing all the way forward, and then I kind of had to work with the wing a little bit there as the race went on, and as it pretty much just slicking right off there as I kind of expected it to. Even with the track reset, I knew it was just going to go pretty much back to right where it was as it did there. So it doesn't help we had as many cautions. I think under caution the track slickens off way more than it actually does when we race on it. So, yeah, I mean it was a pretty hard race, I guess, from fifth on back. But yeah, I don't know. The cautions kind of make it difficult sometimes. You gotta change, and I don't mind 2 or 3 cautions, but when we're almost getting to the double digits, this gets getting kind of rough. So some of these guys just need to kind of back down like what they're doing and kind of just take notes from some other guys that run all the time. So it's just it comes with time, I guess, too. But you just kind of got to use your head too. So yeah, I mean, all in all, though, we were pretty fast tonight all around. I actually got the hot lap this time, so it means I qualified good this time. So yeah, we were pretty fast all night long, honestly.
Yeah, you absolutely were. That machine of yours tonight was a rocket ship. Tim, do you have anything for Mason?
Yeah, Mason, when you took control, were you worried at all? And how important was it to take control of that race as early as you did?
I mean, being later, you're in control, and you got to think about it even before you grid up for the feature. Yeah, I wasn't really worried at all, honestly. And then Landon kind of got to me there and showed me a nose, so I started to get a little worried, and then kind of almost got in my head a little bit that he was there, and maybe he was just better. But I just kind of realized like, hey, you just need to slow yourself up a little bit here and keep the tires underneath you. So and I did that. I just backed up my corner off of 4 there a little bit and came off a little straighter, and I mean, I just pulled away there slowly. But yeah, I mean, if that race goes granny checkered, I mean, me and Landon and a couple other guys are probably gone by, we probably lap up to fifth or something like that. So I mean, I just felt like early on there, I was just setting a rapid pace, and I had I think I had like a second and a half and 4 laps or something like that. So if it goes to green to checkered, it's a lot different of a race. But when you include all the cautions, it definitely changes it up and makes it more difficult. But yeah, no, we did a pretty good job there fending off Landon, and yeah, he's been fast as hell these last couple weeks. So just gotta keep at it.
Yeah, absolutely, Mason. Before we let you go tonight, who do you need to thank for the effort?
Yeah, all the boys at Black Knight Motorsports, Tim Sims, Velocity Races, on Ross Corona, and Andrew for putting this deal on. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, Mason. Well, again, congratulations on the victory again tonight here at the Lincoln Speedway and winning that $10 on the line as well. All right, that's going to conclude our interviews here tonight. As we begin to wrap things up from the Lincoln Speedway, closing thoughts from you tonight, Tim. And I think Tim is not here,
I'm
unfortunately.
sorry. I was taking a drink. You
Oh,
caught me mid drink. What's up? What was the question?
um, just, as we wrap things up from the Lincoln Speedway tonight, closing thoughts from you.
Yeah, it was just everyone's racing hard, and that's I feel like that's what you need. People need to
Oh, no, I was just, I was trying to find a different screen to put up while you were talking there because the iRacing channel closed, but it's just an odd night on a slick track, that's for sure. But well, folks. Anyways, to cap the night off, upcoming for Regal Promotions Esports, Friday night on the 28th at 8:30 is going to be the prelude to the Purge at the dirt track at Charlotte. That's going to be a 75 lap event in fixed setup street stocks, dirt street stocks. The winner of that receives free entry to the Land of Lincoln 40. It's going to be a free entry event, no rules. All the cars will start, and that's going to be live on Regal Promotions Esports YouTube channel. Well, Tim, what do you think about that event? Yeah, no kidding. So if you're looking for something to do Friday night, that might be something to check out. And then next Monday night at 8 o'clock is going to be round 5 of the 305 Sprint Series. And it's going to be the Silver Cup Triple 20s. So 3 lap features in that 305 division. The 360 sprints are off next Monday night, just the 305 division running. And of course, next Tuesday, April the 1st, is going to be the Purge event by 618 Engraving and Design at the Lernerville Speedway. That's going to be a 75 lap open setup dirt mini stock race with a custom trophy to the winner. Free entry. And again, no rules, and all cars start that event. That's also going to be live on Regal Promotions Esports. So, really cool events coming up for Regal. For us on the Buckeye Racing Network, we've got some off time, but we'll be back with the Regal Promotions Esports 358, would be the Big Block Northeast Modified Division upcoming. So, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys all next time. Good night from Tim and I.